Well. Turns out Belal Muhammad can make weight after all, eh? It's Ronan MMA. Welcome back to the channel. They made some huge fights yesterday. I've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to break it up into a couple different videos. We are going to start with Belal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns being made for 170 pounds. This next pay-per-view, May 6th, okay? This is a very exciting fight. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe, dude. I would greatly appreciate it. All right. Dude. I made that video, obviously, full 24 hours at least before they announced that this fight was going to be official. And I just want to say that I feel completely and totally vindicated. Some of you may be thinking that it was unfortunate timing, as a bunch of people came to them then say in my comment section. I don't think so. Okay, I don't, because I feel like everything I said holds true. Okay, it was a flimsy excuse. He could make weight. I never said he couldn't. He said he couldn't. I had multiple people come and try to argue in my comment section the day that I made the video, and then I had people, those same people, try to come back and act as if I was wrong. One guy continuously messed up things that I said only for me to call him out on it, and then him to say, well, I didn't memorize what you said in your video. Well, then why are you here arguing, sir? Huh? Why would you do that? If you don't know what I said, why would you come and argue? Okay? It means that his intermittent fasting for the last month does not affect his body as much as people said. And as soon as I saw him post that picture on Instagram saying war ready, which, by the way, he looked absolutely shredded in. We're talking about Belal Muhammad here. I felt vindicated because I knew that Ramadan would not have the kind of effect that they all claim it has on his body, okay? And then one dude came in here and tried to call me a racist, which I find hilarious because, first of all, I didn't realize you could be racist to a religion, okay? Uh-huh. Right? What? And first of all, I wasn't even talking shit about the religion as a whole. I was saying that one of the practices of that religion is not a good enough excuse to not be able to make weight 18 days after that practice ends. Okay? I was going to call that guy a name, but then I thought I would actually be being an ist, okay, which would be ableist, and I didn't want to be that. So I didn't make fun of him. Now, let's just talk about the matchup, okay? What a fantastic matchup. Now, in terms of there's different kinds of excitement, right? And in terms of how exciting is the fight going to be, well, it might not be the most exciting fight, depending on how there's a certain couple things that could play out that could make it more exciting. But stylistically, it's not necessarily the most exciting. But in terms of stakes and rankings and stuff like that, it is very exciting. Now, I think that the winner of this fight absolutely should be next for the title. Belal Muhammad, good job. You are finally fighting a guy who would actually make you deserving of a title shot, and I respect you for taking this fight, and I respect you even more for taking it at 170 and finally just biting the bullet. So thank you. I appreciate it. He has saved the card, as well as Gilbert Burns. A lot of people keep saying, well, no, this is Belal Muhammad saving. I've seen this in the comment sections. A lot of people are saying Belal Muhammad is the one saving the card here. Gilbert Burns is already in fight shape. He just got out of a camp. Gilbert Burns will now be making weight 3 times in 5 months. This is like incredible. People don't. Ramadan has an effect on your body, eh? Making weight 3 times in 5 months also has probably more of an effect on your body. So both of these men deserve huge respect, in my opinion. I know I poke a lot at Belal. I make fun of Belal a lot, but in all seriousness here, I respect him for this, and I'm very grateful that he did this. Now, if we're going to talk about the matchup, though, one of the reasons why I respect Belal for this is because I don't think Gilbert Burns is a good matchup for him, which is why I think that he was trying to make the fight at 175 pounds so that he could weigh more than him by a more significant margin. When they finally did step in the cage, he would have the same amount of time to rehydrate, but 5 pounds less to try and put back on his body. And if they were to, if things weren't to go his way, he could say, well, it was a catch weight. I took that fight on 18 days notice. You know what I mean? It shouldn't even matter for the welterweight rankings. Either way, I'm glad that he took it. Gilbert Burns, I don't think is a good stylistic matchup for him. The reason is because Gilbert Burns is such a high level grappler, and Belal Muhammad's bread and butter is essentially his ability to hold you down or to keep taking you down, right? Like, neither of these guys win over Stephen Wonderboy Thompson was overly impressive in my opinion, other than the fact being that it was Stephen Wonderboy Thompson that they were doing it to. But they both just kind of held him down. Now, Gilbert Burns is much more dangerous off the ground than Belal Muhammad is. Like, Gilbert Burns has submissions for days. He's a very high level Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner, obviously, as you all know. And Belal Muhammad is kind of like a guy who uses takedowns to wear on you, and then he kind of beats you up sometimes. Like, that finish over Sean Brady was the first finish he'd gotten in quite some time. And when it's on the feet, I've said it so many times that it's probably getting old, but Belal Muhammad throws punches like Juliana Pena, and he looks like he's running down a hill while he's trying to strike. He overextends himself constantly. His striking is not very good. Sean Brady was not a good striker, which is why he was able to finish him on the feet. Sean Brady was almost he was almost exclusively a grappler. So I don't really see a way that Belal Muhammad can get this done, in my opinion, unless the 3 weight cuts in 5 months is just too much on Gilbert Burns' body and he begins to gas out or something. Because, dude, Khamzat Chimaev did not want to go to the ground with Gilbert Burns. Khamzat Chimaev, in my opinion, is probably a better grappler than Belal Muhammad, and B, is a lot more aggressive. You know what I mean? Gilbert Burns, if you're going to take the way Belal Muhammad has guys on the ground, like, he takes his time. He's kind of cooking them, right? And he's not going to overextend to try and hurt you or submit you and things like this, whereas Khamzat Chimaev is very aggressive. And if he gets you on the ground, he wants to either land damaging shots to your head or he wants to submit you after usually landing damaging shots to your head. I think that if Belal Muhammad takes this fight to the ground, which who knows if he'll even be able to get Gilbert Burns down, because Gilbert Burns' wrestling looks like it's improved quite a bit. Some of those takedowns he was landing on Jorge Masvidal came easier than ones that like Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington landed on Jorge Masvidal. If they get to the mat, I could see Gilbert Burns pulling something off. Now, his top game, in my opinion, is a lot better than his bottom game when it comes to jiu-jitsu, but he is still absolutely a dangerous guard player, pardon me. I wouldn't want to be on the ground for too long, no matter which position he is in. Belal Muhammad does have a very good chin, so he might be able to eat shots from Gilbert Burns and not go down, but I could see him getting hurt, and then I could see Gilbert Burns shooting a takedown of his own, just taking advantage of the situation that is there. If he hurts Belal on the feet, shoots a takedown, Belal might not be expecting it because he thinks that Gilbert Burns will think he has the advantage in the striking department. And I could see him getting like a top pressure type submission. You know what I mean? Either an arm triangle or something like this. Gilbert Burns is a fucking savage, dude. I get that Belal Muhammad took the fight, and that's good. I appreciate him taking that fight on short notice, but he hasn't fought since October, right? It'll be 7 months since he's fought. I can't believe the activity. If Gilbert Burns woke up January 1st of 2023 and just chose fucking violence, dude. He said, I want to fight all year. Like, it's incredible. If he keeps going at this rate, like, imagine if we see him fight 5-6 times this year. I mean, it'll be 3 times in the first 5 months. It's not even half of a year. It's incredible. I feel like that Khamzat Chimaev fight really did do a lot for his confidence, because it was so close that there were people out there that scored that fight for Gilbert Burns, and Khamzat Chimaev was a guy that was supposed to just come in and roll through everybody, and Gilbert Burns kind of stopped him in his tracks, and he hasn't, he's had a fight since against Kevin Holland, but he accepted a fight against Nate Diaz. And then the Kevin Holland matchup came because Hamzat missed weight, which both of those matchups are extremely favorable to him. So after beating a guy like Gilbert Burns, you would think he would be clamoring for like a title shot, or at best a number one, or at worst, pardon me, a number one contender shot. But instead, he chose to fight Nate Diaz and then Kevin Holland, because he missed weight. So, dude, Gilbert Burns, man, has hit like a new stride, and it's crazy because he's not the youngest guy, but he is in phenomenal shape. The guy is working like crazy, and I love to see it. And I love to see him because dude, it seems like there's multiple ways to make a lot of money in this sport. One is being champion, obviously. One is being super famous, which those two are a lot harder to do than just being a company man, right? Like guys like Sean Strickland, that guy makes a lot of money, clearly. He even said when he took that Nassourdine fight on short notice, they renegotiated his contract. He was getting paid big bucks, and he was very happy with his new contract, and you know what I mean? So there's ways aside from being the most famous or being the champion in your weight class that you could make a ton of money. And it seems like being a company guy wanting to fight all the time, which makes it very easy for the matchmakers to do their jobs, especially when you are so willing to jump on a short notice opportunity like this. Like, goddamn, dude, I'm gonna fucking sneeze. That's super unfortunate. Hold on. That could have been bad, dude. That could have been bad. My right eye might start watering. Okay, I'm not crying. I held in a sneeze. Yeah, I think Gilbert Burns could probably get a finish here, and Belal Muhammad, if he does get finished, will probably use the excuse that, well, it was just Ramadan and whatever. But I was right. He could make the weight. Okay, it was a flimsy excuse. And it is what it is, dude. I'm super glad that he took the matchup. And I'm not gonna sit here and shit on him after he just took that matchup. Yeah, I can't really see a way that he wins other than just like continuously taking him down. But nobody in the division who is, pardon me, a high level wrestler has wanted to do that to Gilbert Burns. Like, Kamaru Usman didn't want a fucking thing to do with Gilbert Burns on the ground. In their fight, Gilbert Burns got dropped or whatever. He sat there pulling a Charles Oliveira, like trying to recover, essentially. And Kamaru Usman wouldn't go down. He just kept landing like long body shots with his right hand, and the occasional kick to the leg and shit like that. Whereas every other opponent Kamaru Usman's faced, you give him an opportunity to be on top of you, he's going to take that opportunity. And as I said, Hamzat Shimaya too, in the first round of their fight, they got to the ground. Hamzat Shimaya, after a few seconds, like maybe half of a minute, was like, never mind, fuck this, I don't want to be here. And then had to stand and strike with Gilbert Burns for the rest of the time. So I don't see Belal being able to do what these two guys were not able to do. I think that Kamaru Usman is a better wrestler than Belal Muhammad, and I think that Hamzat Shimaya is a better overall grappler than Belal Muhammad. And I think that in terms of submission grappling, Gilbert Burns absolutely has the edge there as well. So I could see Gilbert Burns either winning a pretty decisive decision, well, where he hurts Belal Muhammad a couple times and, is able to stuff takedowns and is just doing work on the feet. Or I could see Burns potentially getting a finish here, hurting Belal Muhammad on the feet, shooting a takedown of his own, just taking advantage of an opportunity. Belal Muhammad not expecting it, getting taken down, and then getting submitted via arm triangle or some top heavy pressured submission like Gilbert Burns likes to do with those big fucking shoulders of his. I'm so glad they made this fight, man. I already did the poll, so I don't need to ask you what you guys think, but you can let me know anyways, dude, because it's fun. Why not? And yeah, man, I'm gonna go and do the next video because there's so fucking many to do. So like and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. I will thank you in advance for your subscription. Please, man, let's just, come on, only I think it's now 37% of returning viewers are subscribed. I don't care if you disagree with one video, dude. Hit the fucking button. Don't hit the notification bell. You don't have to watch every video I make. Just, help me out. I would appreciate it. And I'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.